Louisiana All American Sports Show. 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 Louisiana. If the sports you wanna talk about, then listen to the hottest show that's coming out the south. It's Eric Hatfield and Coach Perry Daniels, man. They're gonna sit you down and tell you all about the game and make it plain. 96.9 FM, that's the station. To hear the best sports talk show in the nation. Without hesitation, you should get with this. You get your popcorn ready, boy, you better not miss. Louisiana All American Sports Show. Louisiana All American Sports Show. Louisiana All American Sports Show. Louisiana. It's Joker B. Check this out.
This is Eric Hatfield here with Blake Williams, Louisiana All American Sports Player of the Game. Blake, you were making tackles and in people's faces all night. Talk about your game this evening.
I really got to give thanks to all my coaches and teammates. We strive hard every day. Without them, it wouldn't be me. It's not all. Hey, give all credit to my teammates. Without them, it wouldn't be nothing. They put me hard every play. Got to give thanks to them.
The defense was put in a lot of short yardage situations, and whenever they tried to run the ball, you, along with a lot of your teammates, were always there in their way. How did you get the better of their line, and how did you avoid being fooled by some of their trick plays?
Well, I got to give thanks to Coach Hinton, my defensive line coach. Every day they arm me about staying high and low. Just got to give credit to them.
All right, congratulations, young man. Eric Hatfield here with the victorious Coach Ken Hilton of the McKinley Panthers. Coach, you came on the road, you came ahead, you fell behind, but you stole that game in the end. Talk about it.
Man, you know, we preach all the time to the kids, don't look at the scoreboard, just keep fighting. They did tonight. I was real proud. You know, we were up, we got down. I thought defense did a great job. Gave up a couple big plays, but for the most part, kept the offense in check. Offensively, second half, we got the running game going. BJ made some big throws. We had some big catches. I was pleased with that. You know, I thought the first quarter, we were plagued by penalties and got ourselves in a hole, which we got to fix that. But I mean, overall tonight, man, I'm glad for these kids. I'm happy to see them celebrate.
Defense really seemed to make the difference in the second half, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they did. I think those guys are. Excited. They were playing inspired. You know, I'm just happy for them, man. Like I told them today, they deserve to win. They deserve to celebrate. They know they work their tails off every day. They work, and they deserve that. I'm happy for them.
You had a lot of outstanding defensive performances. Williams, Alvarez, Blake Williams was our player of the game. Can you talk about some of the defensive standouts?
I'm gonna tell you what, he had a big game, man. I hadn't watched the film or saw the stats to see exactly what he had, but that interior front, I felt like we controlled the line of scrimmage tonight, and they made some big plays. You know, I mean, they made some plays for us in the backfield and made some things happen for us. Got them behind the sticks and all.
Got Broadmoor coming up next week.
Yeah, with homecoming and all, we got to focus. Like I said, you know, they like us. They fighting for a win too. But overall, man, we just want to celebrate this one, and we'll get ready for that one tomorrow.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, man.
All right, see you next week. That was Coach Ken Hilton of the victorious McKinley Panthers. Ooh, I'm just so fresh, so clean. Good morning, Baton Rouge, and welcome to another edition of the Louisiana All American Sports Show. This is Eric Hatfield, and
I'm Gerard Piper, a.k.a. Joker P. And what was you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, well, we have a special guest in studio this morning, Blake Williams. He is our Louisiana All American Sports Player of the Game last night.
Hello, how you doing?
Thank you for coming.
Turn him up a little bit. We got to get him some hand.
Oh yeah, we got to get him rolled in just right.
Rolled in.
But say something, anything. Just I don't think I had you loud enough, Blake. But thanks for coming into the studio this morning.
Thank you, appreciate it for all you're doing.
All righty, we're gonna get you going. We had a very exciting game of the week last night as we had the McKinley Panthers. They went on the road to face their district opponent, the Dutchtown Griffins. District rivalries are always very tough, and of course the Dutchtown faithful was in full effect. Dutchtown led for much. McKinley scored first. Dutchtown led for much of the game, but in the end, the Big Blue, with a combination of defensive opportunity and some execution down the stretch, was able to pull it off and pull out the victory last night in Geismar, Louisiana. So we're going to have some conversation on that very, very shortly. Of course, we'll have Coach Perry Daniels joining us from the nation's capital. and a whole lot more going on. But first, let's go ahead and well, actually, we're going to get. I guess Joker's getting us set up there, possibly for Coach to call in. But now, Joker, I'm just curious. I know you were on the job last night, so you did not get a chance to hear any of the game, I assume.
No, I didn't get a chance to hear any of the game, so I was excited to hear that Blake was player of the game, and things went well. So, I'm just sitting back waiting on the recap. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here today. We got Coach Perry Daniels going to be calling in a few minutes, and we got a special guest that's going to be calling in, an old schoolmate of mine, James Williams. So you will be hearing that. So we got a lot in store today.
So now, the man of the hour, the man who was the man last night.
He was the man. Oh, yeah. We got to give him a hand clap.
Talk about your game last night, man.
Really? It was a very important game for us.
There we go.
And you know that my teammates needed me to step up in very important moments, and I did it. It was a very important game. We needed to come out with a W.
You seem to have really seem to have a handle on what was going on with the offensive line. There were a lot of times where you were just in a one-on-one situation with the opposing running back, and were there to make a play to keep them from getting a lot of yards. Last night you were telling me about kind of how Coach had some arrangements, some schemes, some techniques. Talk about how you were able to get off the ball so quickly. Blake was in the backfield a lot last night. The reason I chose him as player of the game is because Dutchtown, whenever they got moving, when they tried to start running the football, they had a pretty good running back in Chucky Davis who made some plays, but Blake was often Johnny on the spot to just stifle the opponent at the key time. So I guess talk about some of the things you think enabled you and your teammates to be so effective in the trenches.
Well, really, I would like to start off by saying thank you to my trainer, Marlon Favorite. He was the one that was able to teach me the techniques and to fill in those gaps and to get out the ball. To stop that running back to get no gain of yards. And I'd like to thank my coach Hilton and my defensive line coach for teaching me the proper technique, proper hand movement to get out those linemen and get in the backfield.
Well, of course, I just want to congratulate you and congratulate Coach Hilton, because after getting beaten the way you guys have been getting beaten by last-second field goal 1 week, by, how you guys got, kind of blown out a little bit the game before, how was you all's confidence coming into this game? Like you said, I heard you say that we really needed a win, and so you took that loss, it more motivated you guys, and kind of, because you could have gave up, after getting beat like that, you could have been like, well, what's the use, and not played as hard. So what gave you guys the confidence to go into Dutchtown and get that victory?
Well, here at McKinley, we've been through a lot, different coaches, not too good of seasons, but we all came together with the same mindset. We're not leaving without a win. Wow.
So throughout practice this week, then I guess you all wanted to change up a little bit what you've been doing all season, or different techniques, different filling in different gaps?
Every day we're out there grinding, just grinding hard every day in the hot sun, 3.5 hours every day, just getting it.
Well, that's why I give big credits to Coach Hilton, because he never gave up. I saw after the Denham Springs game, when you guys lost that game at Denham Springs, and I came on the field, and he had you guys down in the huddle, and had the whole team on the huddle, and he was basically telling you guys to keep your confidence. Don't let this game get you down. We're still here. We're coming. And that's why I give him a lot of credit, because a lot of people could have been more not as understanding. Some coaches, they get on their players so much until they kill their confidence, instead of saying, okay, hey, we messed up, but there's some things we're gonna have to clean up, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna take this loss upon me and my coaching staff. And so I want to give Coach Hilton a lot of praise and a lot of just a lot of applause and whatever I can give him for that. I really appreciate that. Of course, I'm alumnus of McKinley, so I was down in the dumps a little bit. We got moms in the house. I don't know if she want to say a few words. She don't want to make you nervous. She's over there waving like, no, wait a minute, don't do that. But I was just happy to hear it, man, and happy to see that you guys pulled it out. And so that's what's up. So tell me from your point, Eric.
Well, I'm gonna tell you from
what'd you see? I mean, make me feel good. Give me some. Make me. That guy was on. Remember the Players Club? what was that, St. Louis? And he say, do something to make me feel good.
Well,
you know?
I'll tell you what.
Make me feel good.
I'll tell you what. It was. You know, again, you have a district rivalry. You know what you're preparing for. You know you got to play Dutchtown from the start of the year. You know you're going to see these guys at least once every year. And like I said, it truly was a defensive slugfest from top to bottom, and that was fun to watch. You know, at halftime, how did you feel that, you know, considering that the score was 6-6 at the half, right? Yeah. How did it feel knowing that, hey, you were helping keep your team in the game? Because there were a lot of opportunities Dutchtown had that finally got thwarted, sometimes on 3rd and 4th down. Yeah. And when you only score 6 points, of course, the defense has got to have its act together or you're going to be out of the game early, especially on the road. So talk about how the defense really helped hold the glue together until the offense could kind of convert things into scoring.
Well, Coach Hilton is always telling us something is always going to happen in the game, and we have to keep focused, keep our head in the game, and play our ball. That's really the main reason. We stay focused, didn't worry about the score, and we just got deep in the trenches.
And I threatened to take the uniform if his performance was not up to par this week. Turn it in.
So that's what's up. That's what's up. We got Miss Jill in the house too. And if you want to say something about your son, how proud you are of him, and I want to know how long has he been playing football, and is this something that he always wanted to do? Was he kind of into other sports, or was this always, did he have a football like from birth?
Actually, he started at 5 and he quit that first year when he got hit. We took him back that following summer, and he's been playing ever since. He's been working really hard over the summer with Marlon Favorite, teaching him different techniques on how to get on the ball. I don't know anything about football. I just know sacks. So I just look for a sack. If I don't see a sack, then I don't think he's done anything. But apparently, it's more to it than that.
Oh, yes.
But Blake has a tendency to do what other players do. So when the other players aren't giving their all, he doesn't. Right. He's been doing this too long, has too much talent to not put forth what's inside of him. So I told him, if you play again this week like you did the last 2 weeks, I'm going to pack that uniform up and give it back to the coach and we're done with this.
So that's the real reason you came in this week. I thought it was Coach Hilton. It was Coach Jill.
All the time.
And never underestimate the strength of Coach Mom. But yeah, you know, like I said, we're just trying to wait to get Coach Perry Danielson on the Skype. I'm sure he's going to have a few questions as well. But look, you guys, so talk about this, kind of the roller coaster season you guys have had so far. I mean, y'all have had, you know, you've had some wins, some close losses, some big losses.
They've been killing
You've
me,
had
man.
every kind of result this season. So talk about what that's like. You know, right here in the middle of a football season.
And to stay focused and to keep, you know, keep grinding.
Well, it's kind of difficult, you know. Been dealing with it for the past 3 years. But like you said, I got to stay focused. Hard work, dedication always pays off.
It absolutely.
And tell them you don't stay focused all the time. Sometimes you do get caught up with what's going on around you.
Like she said, you know, I haven't been playing well these past 2 weeks. You know, part of her and what she said, I didn't want to give up that uniform.
Well, and I certainly, of course you don't want to give up the uniform, especially when you're playing ball. That is Coach. Okay, we got Coach. You there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So we got the whole crew in the house.
The whole crew.
Coach Blake Williams, our player of the game. Coach was on board last night. We had some technical hiccups, and Coach actually helped tie the knots and the ropes together. But he also heard most of the commentary. So I'm sure you heard Blake Williams' name being called quite a bit. And as a former McKinley alum and coach, I'm sure you got some questions for him.
Hey, first I want to congratulate Blake on a great victory. I can't remember the last time McKinley won a game at Dutchtown.
Thank you.
So that's an awesome job. We want to welcome Mom to the show, as I heard you two do. Great job. Welcome, Mom. Also, Mom, sounds like you can get a CECP coaching certificate from the Louisiana High School Athletic Association and be a part of the staff down there at McKinley.
That's right.
And if that doesn't work out for you, we could definitely use a female voice on Louisiana All American Sports. So you're more than welcome to join us on a regular basis as well.
Mom is an alumnus. She went to McKinley. She's a graduate, so she got her McKinley shirt on.
What year?
Now you
I don't know if she's going to tell her age.
Yeah,
you know
now
what you know.
Just know that I'm not afraid. I'm 94. I graduated in 94.
Younger than all of us. Shoot.
Oh, well, yeah. So you're talking to 86 and 88?
I am not ashamed.
So that's what's up.
So,
well, great job. Let's jump into
Coach.
No, Coach.
So let's jump into, and then it looks like
we jumped
looks
out.
like the Skype jumped out.
Yeah, it looks like it jumped out. We're actually going to have our guest. He's going to be calling in. It's got
to be him again.
Yeah.
This is like it just went poof. Oh, I'm sure he's going to call right back, and I have my finger right on the button.
But we have James Williams. He's going to be calling in I told him to call in at 11:15, and you're going to like this guest. I don't know if we ever talked about James Williams. He was our running back actually for McKinley when I went there, and he ended up going to the Houston Oilers. Mm-hmm. He ran track, and now he's a vice president of one of the largest banks that we have here in Houston, Texas. And that's Coach right there.
And hey, Coach. All right, so we're going to jump right in, Coach. Coach?
Yes.
We're going to jump right into...
Hey, this has been the toughest 48 hours. Let me apologize to folks. First of all, last night was probably the worst broadcast that I've heard ever. I know definitely the worst from Louisiana All American Sports perspective. So we want to apologize. We're going to work out these technical issues. And I'm not quite certain why we've had so many in such a short period of time, but I guarantee you this, we're going to get it corrected, and we're going to get back to our regular standard of broadcast at Louisiana All American Sports.
All right.
Okay, what do we have here?
The last thing you said was we're going to jump in, and then you dropped.
Yeah, so I was wondering when Blake realized that they were in full control of that game last night.
Well, really, I felt like we were in control at the halftime. I feel like we gained all the confidence that we needed, and we just needed to finish out the game very hard and strong.
Excuse me, Blake. Guys, I need you to cut off the mic so I can hear him.
Okay, say it again, Blake.
Oh, really, I feel like we had, after halftime, we had to just finish strong and very hard to keep our head in the game.
Could you hear him, Coach?
Yes, I did. Great. Okay, so let's talk next week. You've got the Broadmoor Buccaneers coming to town, coming down into the bottom. What do you expect?
I expect to do the same thing this week, but
Better.
It's homecoming. I expect to win. I expect a big win, a blowout. Now, that's me, but I don't play ball. Don't be biased. Let them know what you expect, Blake. Tell them. A blowout.
I love it, though, Mom. As an alumnus, we just want to win on homecoming. We don't care what else y'all got going on. That's awesome.
Coach, what else do you have for Blake?
So, Blake, obviously you're in studio. You're going to stay with us for the rest of the show. We've got another McKinley alumnus calling in later who just wrote a book, and he's going to join us. Have we run through the scores, guys?
No, we have not.
Let's do that. Let's take on the agenda, and let's just let Blake participate as though he's one of the guys. And Mom, too. She's going to chip in and contribute as much as we need her to as well. So let's run through the rest of the scores last night in Baton Rouge.
Well, Mom is doing she's doing the Beyonce. She's got to go, and you know what I mean?
Hey, Blake has a little brother that plays football at 11:30. I just want to go catch his game, and got to be fair.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what's up. It runs in the family, huh? And, Coach, we got James Williams on the line right now. He's listening in. I already told Blake we wanted to have him on the rest of the show because we're going to talk about Southern and Jackson State. We're going to talk about a few social issues with Colin Kaepernick starting this week, Donald Trump and the election.
All right.
And we got a great show planned for you guys. But whenever you're ready, Booty is ready. He's on deck. He's online right now.
Tell me this though, Mom, before you run out, what organization does the younger Griffin play with? And let's state his name.
Well, she's. I think she's left with my younger place
she
for
stepped out, but you can answer that.
South Baton Rouge Rams.
All right. Did you play for the Rams as well, Blake?
Yes, I actually started out with the Rams, but after a little accident, I transferred to the Scotlandville Hornets and played there for the remaining of my break career.
Wow.
Awesome. I believe our next guest played for the Rams as a youth as well. So you guys have something to...
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
State your younger brother's name, Blake.
His name is Justin Thompson. He plays offensive guard, and he's number 56.
Could you hear him, Perry? Could you hear him?
A little.
One more time.
I heard him say something, but it wasn't clear enough for me to make out what it was.
One more time, Blake.
His name is Justin Thompson, number 56, and he plays offensive guard.
Could you hear, Coach?
Justin
Thompson plays offensive guard, wearing number 56, he said.
And what's their record right now, Blake?
I'm not that great of a mom, so I don't have the answer to that.
I think they might be 2-2.
2-2.
Did you catch? Oops,
Yes.
2-2, he said.
2-2. So we're gonna wish them luck on the rest of the season.
Yes.
Hey, let's go to break, guys. Let's go to break, guys. And while we're in the break, let's work out these other issues. Let's make sure that we can communicate during the break, and then when we come out of break, we'll go to James Williams.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Well, I have the song for the day, and it's going to be something I think you guys are going to enjoy.
Let me go get you going here.
Yeah, just give me that chord.
All right.
And of course, we always play a lot of social issues, talk about a lot of social issues, and so I think you guys are going to enjoy this song. So I want you to check this out. Man, that dropped the science.
Dropping science on you.
You know what I mean?
We cover high school sports, so of course we're going to have. Of course we're going to drop science.
Yeah, that was and that was the guy's name is Muse for Presidents, and the song is called The Science. If you want to look it up, YouTube it or Google it or whatever, that's what it is. It's The Science. Just Google The Science, man. And I thought that was a good song for what we're going to be talking about today. The Science.
Absolutely. Look, so we had some other action in high school sports last night. Let's just run down the scores in the Baton Rouge area. So last night we had Ascension Catholic as they put a hurting on East Everville, 33-6. We had, sorry folks, getting a little flicker. Bruley put a hurting on Glen Oaks in District 6-3A. There was a lot of 6-3A action. Bruley 40, Glen Oaks 6 last night. Catholic High put it on Broadmoor. Of course, the McKinley Panthers will be facing Broadmoor next week. Catholic won that game 48-6 last night. We had Donaldsonville as they defeated Baker 26-22. East Feliciana over Christian Life Academy 30-28 in a squeaker. Also last night we had sorry about this, folks. I'm getting a little flicker here. Kentwood over St. Helena Central in a close one by the score of 14-13. Live Oak over Walker, District 4-5A. That is going to be a very, very tight race. 17-14. Live Oak did get the win over Walker last night. Madison Prep 60, Mentorship 0. The transformation of Madison Prep, they're becoming a juggernaut within their district. Of course, McKinley defeated Dutchtown 26-13 last night. We had Parkview Baptist in a real defensive showdown as they defeated U High, their district rival, 10-3 last night.
Wow!
So that is
that's an upset.
That's a minor upset. I mean, U High is a team you can pretty much count on seeing in the Superdome or coming close every year. And Parkview held them to 3 points. Scotlandville busted out the whooping stick on Central, 40-0 last night. Southern Lab over White Castle, 52-8. St. Thomas Aquinas, 35. Pope John Paul II, 7. St. Michael and Bel Air. That game was back and forth last night. Now, I am really curious as to what's going on with the Bel Air football team because they have really taken some steps in the last couple of years to become relevant again. St. Michael just...
Did you hear about, not to get on another subject, I meant to ask Coach about that. Did you hear about the coaches over at Bel Air and Chauncey Moore and the football coach and the principal?
No, I did not.
You didn't see that in the paper?
No, I did not.
They have four coaches that's on paid leave right now, pending an investigation. So Chauncey Moore is one of them. The football coach, I want to say the principal and the teacher. Don't hold me to that for as the principal and teacher, but I know it's 4 coaches.
Well, we'll certainly get to we'll follow up and find out what's going on over there at Bel Air. But St. Michael just narrowly defeated Bel Air 23-22. That was a back-and-forth game all night, so that tells me that there's some improvement in the play over there because St. Michael's not a pushover team. Varnado defeated Covenant Christian 52-20. Ville Platte over Port Bar 28-0.
Zachary.
West Feliciana, we're getting there. That was the whopper, and it's funny. It's the last of the list. West Feliciana crushed Port Allen 34-6. Woodlawn 41. Tara 0. Tara's really having some problems, but the biggest game I think in the area was Zachary and Denham Springs. Final score: Zachary 35, Denham Springs 34. So Zachary is drawing first blood in that battle of heavyweights out there in District 4-5A.
Wow.
Well,
we'll come right out of that, and like I told you guys, we had a great show planned for you guys. We have a special guest. This is a guy that I grew up with, went to school with, saw his transformation from becoming not only a leader when we was young, but also being a leader now in the community. He has a book as he's getting ready that he already has written. I know this guy is a vice president of one of the biggest banks. I won't name the bank, but the biggest bank pretty much in the world. And, great friend of mine, great friend of Coach Perry. He was our running back. He was the man. He was everything at that time. He was the track star. I'm bigging him up. We've got to get this man applause before I bring him in. Get your applause set up. We got to get this man a hand clap. This is the main man. James Williams, want to welcome you to Louisiana All American Sports, James.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Did I hear you? Is Perry Daniels in that room? Is Perry over there?
He said it's Perry Daniels over there.
I can't hear you, James. I'm at the mercy of the folks in the studio, and I can't hear a thing. I was trying to give some input on the Bel Air situation. I couldn't talk. I'm talking, but I couldn't be heard.
Well, I'm glad you're on the show because, it brings a lot of relevance to this whole situation because, you were my quarterback when I was really young, and you had to hand that ball off to me. And a lot of people didn't realize I started 4 years at McKinley High School.
Absolutely, good brother. And let me say this, man. I am so proud of you and where you have elevated yourself personally outside of the arena of sports. It's just a beautiful thing to see, man. And I don't think, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on today is because I wanted you to share your lineage, your heritage. You come from a rich McKinley family, and these young people can benefit from hearing about, what you've accomplished and that history. So let's jump into it. First, let's talk about the name of your book, sir.
A Woman's Joy and Pain from a Man's Perspective. I've been reading perspective poetry for years, and I was actually writing when I was in high school. And I had an accumulation of work over the years about how I thought we as men viewed the feelings of women in this lifetime, because I thought we were losing a grip on that with our societal changes and had lost focus on one of the strongest things we had in our community, and that's our black woman.
That's awesome.
And in doing so, I just put a compilation of pieces together. I released a book about 10 years prior to that, and I just kept it going, and it's taken off, and people it's on back order now, so I'm happy for that.
Great. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your athletic pedigree. Explain to the folks what you did after McKinley athletically.
Well, first of all, let me just say this: 653 Cotton Street. Let's just say that. Not too far from the chicken shack is where I grew up at the top of the bottom. Went to Reddy Elementary, McKinley Middle Magnet, and then I came to McKinley, and I was a proud South Baton Rouge Ram. So I don't want to leave that out because Malin Brooks, Choo-Choo, I always have to say that name, was one of the best things that ever happened in my life. And, you know, having a brother like Herbert, being such a good athlete, really pushed me to excel. And when I left McKinley High School, I went to Texas Southern University on a scholarship. And I started as a freshman there also. Played there and went on SWAC tour for the best players in the country. And I started at 5 different positions in college, which no one in Division AA football had done that in that era. And ended up going to the Indianapolis Colts in 1992. I was released there at the last cut, and in the offseason I was picked up by the Houston Oilers in 93. Stayed on practice squad there in 93. 94 I was on injured reserve. 95 I went to NFL Europe, and then had a short stint with the Giants. And then 96 I went back to NFL Europe, where we won the World Bowl that year. And 97, I tore my Achilles and was out. Then I came back, went to Canada, played arena ball, just bumped around, and then decided to, let football go in 1999.
So hold on, that's an awesome history, a professional history, but you just kind of breezed over the name Herbert, and just to fill our listeners in, your brother has a rich pedigree as well, and I do realize that this is your show, and hopefully we can have Herbert Williams on at a later date. I would love to have him on, so if you could pass that along.
Do it for you.
But if you could just briefly touch on former Southern University athlete Herbert Williams' pedigree, your brother.
Well, I'm glad you said Southern, because I didn't want to say that because I went to Texas Southern. But my brother was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in 1980, and they were Super Bowl champs that year. And he went on to stay there for a few years, and he went to the Cardinals, where he started there, and then he went on to the USFL from there and had a very successful career. And now he's a very successful businessman in Louisiana.
Absolutely. So does our in-studio guest, Blake, do you have any questions for that McKinley alumnus on the phone?
Oh, yeah, I do, because hopefully myself, I would hopefully like to go pro just like him. What is the atmosphere like?
It doesn't change. It's the speed and the knowledge of the game changes. And you have to be prepared mentally. Physically, you can have the tools. It doesn't matter. You ever saw somebody that was real good in college, but they weren't good in the pros?
Yeah.
It's because they weren't ready for the lifestyle, 1. 2, they were not in tune to understand how the game changes. It's not that it's so much. This I can compare it. You remember when you went from the Rams to high school, how practice in high school was almost like a game? Because the speed of practice in high school is just faster. When you go to college, a college practice is going to be like a high school game. When you go to the pros, a pro practice is pretty much like a college game. And so the speed of the game is so much faster. That was really the only difference to me.
Another question, how are you able to, stay in the league for so long? Because not many people can say they played in the league for a very long time.
I think it was YouTube really made sure he prepared us to have intestinal fortitude and understand what your dream is. You have to understand what your dream life is. Anything I've dreamed, I've wanted to do, I've at least attempted to do it. And I've been pretty much successful at it. But you can't do what somebody else is doing. You have to get in your own niche your own bucket and say, well, this is important to me, and going out tonight ain't as important. You're going to have a whole bunch of time to go out. You can retire when you're 29 and go out the rest of your life. I'm not saying don't have no fun, but you ain't got to be in the club every night. You ain't got to have 400 women. You don't. That's taking too much out of your livelihood.
Perry, I'm sorry, Joker, go ahead.
Well, of course, I was there to see, like I said, the transformation. I just remember, I told James this last night that I always saw the leadership in him, even at a young age. And we was in high school, you know, and I thought actually he was gonna be more of a track star because he was so fast, and he was, you know, and he was number one in the district, and he was, you know, to be that big and fast like that, you know, that was a combination. But just always knowing him to have a smile on his face, always to have fun, you know, got along with everybody, never really had an issue with anyone. And so, and of course, Herb actually was someone that I looked up to. When he had a little stint at McKinley where he was a teacher, and you know, and I was in his class. So,
my brother was really one of my biggest motivating factors in being just a good man. Period. Like, he never really pushed me over in sports, and I had to be this or I had to do that. He wasn't like that. He wanted me to be a great student, a great man, you know, a great person, and a good businessman.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to say to the young man Blake. He was asking you questions about going to the league and being professional. But I want you to tell us, after you came from the NFL Europe, or after you came from that stint with being over there, how did you transform? Because a lot of athletes, once the sports is gone, they don't know how to transition for his business, or they don't have a business background. And so how important was your education to be a backup and being able to jump right in right after a career in the professionally?
Well, let me tell you something that was bigger than education. Having a sustainable prayer, and to be able to thank God and ask him for help, not just for things, during the periods of my life when I wasn't worthy. And so I think that led me more to have an understanding of myself, what I wanted and what I could do with God, instead of, because you can have a degree and not get nothing. You can have the best education in the world and not have people skills. But you learn that in having an intimate relationship with God, what you can do and what you can have in this lifetime. And I think that was important. And then my education was important, going to Texas Southern and going through the business department and just put myself in position to be successful. You know, you can position yourself, but you still got a whole lot of work to do. And a lot of times people don't want to do the work.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for our listeners out there, we've affectionately referred to James Williams as Booty for a number of years. So just know that is an endearing term that we use when referring to him. So where can people find your book? JustJames22.com. It's all one word. JustJames22.com. But I gotta make you laugh real quick, Perry. Roy Dunn was down here, and he was giving away a house. So I'm the president of the NFL nonprofit here for former players. And so me and the guys came out, and so he's on television now doing the interview and says, "Wait, I have to acknowledge my childhood friend, James Booty Williams." But I'm like, he said, "No, I'm gonna drop Absolutely. I mean, that's what we know you as. That's what people know you as. So, Joker, did you hear that? So there's our connection to former NFL players to have on the Louisiana All American Sports show.
Yes, I caught it.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you being here today. I know you are a TSU through and through, but we've got a very important game going on North I-55 today that I've got to get to on this show. So I'm going to have to let you go. You have an open invitation, good brother, to come back and join us at anytime you want to get some information out to the folks. Please give us a call. You are always welcome here. But I've got to move on to Texas Southern.
Coach, he said he got one more. He got one more thing to say.
I got one more thing you're gonna like, because I just got to throw this in real quick, Coach. Warwick Dunn and I were talking, and we plan to next year do a camp in Baton Rouge. So I want to get back with you guys so you can advertise it and talk about it. We're going to do a football camp in Baton Rouge next summer, probably.
Well, you definitely have that. We don't advertise here, but we will inform the public of the community event. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Not a problem.
All right.
Well, man, thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you so very much for joining us, Mr.
Buddha,
Williams.
man. I'll be getting with you, bro, and good luck to you. And it's justjames22.com, right?
That's it.
Justjames22.com.
All righty. So that was. Thank you so much. That was James Williams.
That was Booty, man.
NFL alum,
not the
McKinley
Booty man,
alum.
but that was,
James Williams, NFL alum, McKinley alum, Booty man. So,
Booty. No,
I'm sorry, Mike. Okay, I'm just gonna stay out of it then. I'm trying to get it on the inside stuff here.
No, this conversation don't sound right. Everybody yelling.
I'm just talking about booty this morning. Okay. So look, we got like Perry said, there's a big contest here for one of our schools in town, and without further ado, let's talk about our guys on the bluff.
On the bluff.
Yes, sir. The Southern University Jaguars, after a 2-week intermission. Hey, after 2 weeks off, you got those Jaguars are going to be like some hungry tigers, so to speak. That's probably not a good analogy, but anyway, they're going to be ready to roll. They have a big rivalry game as they go to Jackson, Mississippi, to face Jackson State. To face Jackson State today. Look, this is a big matchup for a number of reasons. Southern's undefeated in SWAC play. They're off to a very good start. Jackson State, on the other hand, they have one loss in conference play, so they don't have a whole lot of margin for error. This game, whether both teams are doing very well or both teams are doing poorly, is always a big rivalry. The bands get all ready to roll. It's probably the biggest regular season, the biggest traditional regular season game that Southern has of the year. Of course, notwithstanding the Bayou Classic. So look, guys, I'm pretty pumped up. I'm looking forward to seeing this contest because Southern can make a big statement today if they go on the road, beat Jackson State. That puts them 3-0. They're already, I believe they were number 7 in the Black College 10. Football poll last week. Right. That should allow them to climb up even more. They're well rested, so the opportunity is right there. Opportunity is knocking. The Jaguars just need to answer the door.
And I second that. I think that with 2 weeks off, Coach Odom's going to have this team prepared. This is a big game. I've been hearing people talk about this game for the last week. Everybody is talking about going up there to Jackson. It's a lot of shuttle buses that are going up there right now. And so the excitement of this year has been more than I've seen in the last couple of years, to be honest with you, actually. And it's just growing bigger between the rivalry between Jackson State and Southern University. So I expect Southern to go in, get the win. And I think the competition Southern had early in the year, even though they faced a better team, I think it prepared them for moments like this and going into their own conferences. So that's why I think they're
right.
2-0.
Like hitting the gym.
Right,
like
exactly.
Hitting the gym.
I agree. I think Southern, they just have too many weapons, the run game, the pass game. This is going to be a really good football game, folks. And an awesome battle of the bands. The sonic boom doesn't play, but they can't handle the jukebox. So that should just be a really entertaining time for all those that attend that particular game. Hey, Piper, Joker, I've got a question for you. I've been watching TV and watching some NFL football games lately, and I seem to see a lot of pink. What's going on with that? Why are they wearing that?
The pink is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The NFL takes out a month.
Wait. So hold on. Hold on. Time out.
Yes.
Coach? Coach? Did we lose Coach? I think we lost Coach. We did lose Coach. Oh man!
Coach is going to call back. I know he has.
He's got to, because you can see the alley-oop. You can see the alley-oop coming.
You know, the layup, and I was taking it. I thought I scored, but maybe it rolled off the rim.
That was okay. That's got to be Coach calling back. I hope. Here we go. Here he is. All right, so go ahead, Coach.
So the pink is representative of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's why they're wearing the pink, Coach.
But hold on. So wait a minute. Nobody's protesting about that because does pancreatic cancer kill people?
That's true.
Yeah. Does lung cancer kill people?
Yes, that's true.
So it's not just that breast cancer matters.
All disease matters.
All cancer matters.
Yeah, all the cancer matters, but no one's upset about someone singling out breast cancer, right?
Right. And that's a great point. Absolutely.
Let's talk about Colin Kaepernick, the San Francisco 49ers, the Buffalo Bills. What's going to happen there? Eric Reed, former Dutchtown LSU participant, athlete, graduate. Who do you have in that game? And give me your commentary on that.
My commentary on that game is it's almost more than a game in a sense. It's a lot of layers to that game. Buffalo Bills are trying to turn it around a little bit. They started out struggling a little bit, but they seem to get in their niche and their groove a little bit in the last couple of weeks. I want to say that they're 2-2. The San Francisco 49ers, that's a whole different dynamic because you have Colin Kaepernick starting his first game of the season. You have the social issue that's behind Colin Kaepernick. You have a contract that he renegotiated with San Francisco to try to get out of San Francisco. And I think, to me, I think they're trying to put him out there to fail. And so they give them a reason to cut him. So I expect Colin Kaepernick to do good. And I expect him to go into his form of a couple of years ago. People talk about his diet and how he's lost weight. He's a vegan and this and that now. But I think mentally he has grown and matured so much, and he has impressed me in that way. And I think that's going to translate on the field. So I expect San Francisco to actually go in, which they are the underdog, and beat Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I don't think Chip Kelly has very much of a choice. I mean, I understand that Colin Kaepernick's play has deteriorated, especially since Jim Harbaugh left for other pastures, and last year that whole I don't know what that was they were running last year, but obviously he's had some decline in his play. But Chip Kelly doesn't have much of a choice. When you have Blaine Gabbert, and Blaine Gabbert can't make the easiest GED 1, 2, 3 passes for an NFL player, and you got a guy who's getting sacked over and over again. Well, let's see. You could try to, if you have a guy on your roster that has some experience winning games in the past, if you have a guy that maybe has demonstrated some mobility, and you have a guy who at least has not failed to make throws the way Garrett has, maybe you would go to that guy. And that's exactly what Kelly's done. I think Kaepernick is probably their last chance. Just watching the way that 49ers team is coming together, I should say, failing to come together, I don't know. I can't, just from a football standpoint, I can't pick them to beat Buffalo, but I do think Kelly's making the right choice to go with Kaepernick. I think that's his only choice right now.
Absolutely. And we need to inform folks, because there'll be a lot of folks out there rooting against Colin Kaepernick tomorrow and hoping that he gets hurt out there on that field. So the success of what he is doing from a protest standpoint has nothing to do with wins and losses on the field. That is just not a very good football team. I expect him to have some challenges tomorrow because, one, when you make a stand like that and you are so committed to that stand, sometimes people on your own team, Joker, sabotage things. Because they're just that vehemently opposed to what you stand for. So I don't see that team coming together anytime soon with that change of quarterback.
You make a great point, man, and that's something I just think the optimist in me and wanting to see him do good is really kind of swaying my decision, to be honest with you. But you're absolutely right, Coach. When I really look at it, in reality, everybody on his team is not going to be behind him, even though they're on the same team. I also wanted to say, I want to thank myself personally, Coach Daniels. I don't know if I didn't tell Blake this, but at the last McKinley game and at the several games this year, Colin Kaepernick has inspired me. And so during the national anthem, I put my fist up at all of the high school games that I go to. I put my fist up, and we went to McKinley's game against Central, and we were in the booth, and we're the only African Americans in there, me and Perry and Eric, and so the national anthem came on, and I put my fist up, and Coach Perry Daniels, stood next to me and said, "I'm standing with you, brother." And he put his fist up, and I just want to personally thank him for that. And
that's my duty too, good brother. Don't thank me for that. Hey, I got sons. I got sons. I get pulled over. Don't thank me for that. That's my duty as well. Let's get Blake's perspective on this.
Well, like you said, with the fist up, I've done it several times before. Like at school, when we do the national anthem, I stand up with my fist up. But I wouldn't do it in the game. I don't know why, but I'll just do it for the national anthem at school.
And who does he have? We got to let him pick the Southern Jackson State game as well as the Bills San Francisco game.
Yeah, but I wanted to tell you what he said. He said that he actually has put his fist up and everything.
Oh, I heard him.
Oh, you heard him? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
So that's what's up. Well, we want to get I told you we got a segment called I Told You So. We want to get your picks for this week. Southern and Jackson State. Who you got?
Well, the almighty Southern Jaguars. I think they're going to go into Jackson Stadium and shut them up.
Perry, who you got? Southern, Jackson State?
Southern.
And I got Southern too.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I know for sure is Coach Odom's doesn't play, and he'll tell you straight up.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
So you know off top I'm picking Jackson State. I'm sorry. Whoa. Picking Southern. Sorry, Coach.
Southern.
I'm picking Southern.
No, don't play with that, man.
Ooh, that's a slip of the tongue. That's a bad slip of the tongue right there.
Coach Odom.
Oh, my. So, look, we have also not quite as big a rivalry going on, but nonetheless we do have football also going on in the city of Baton Rouge today at the college level.
On the other side of town, moving quickly, rolling swiftly in the hoochie ride.
On the other side of town, the LSU Tigers are hosting the University of Southern Mississippi, coming on down here. Non-conference game. Look, after what I saw last week against Missouri, I expect that train to continue. Ed Ogeron seems to at least have a plan, and they're following it. I think LSU out-trumps Southern Miss in talent, so I think LSU wins, and knock on wood, I think they win pretty handily going away.
Yeah, I say LSU as well. They're going to put a whooping on them.
Of course, I think the momentum, and like you said, the change of coaches. Coach O has confidence, got these guys very confident. And he is almost like Les Miles in a way. He's a great motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he has these guys ready and prepared to play for him. So I expect LSU and that momentum to carry over. So I'm going with LSU. Who you got, Coach?
Oh, I've got LSU. Did we give Blake a chance to pick the Buffalo San Francisco
no, we
game?
did not. Sorry, Buffalo Frisco. Who you got?
Buffalo San Francisco.
I'm going to go with the Bills. They have some monsters on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to pull out a win.
So we have Buffalo. I think so. Everybody has Buffalo. Expects Buffalo to win the. You have San Francisco.
I got 49.
Okay.
I'm going with hope.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Look, one thing.
I'm strictly going with hope. And you said a word before. We have any other games?
Oh, we got Tennessee. I guess I know we're running short on time.
Because you were saying LSU was going to trump such and such.
Oh,
and
Lord.
That made me. That was like a perfect segue to, my hot seat issue.
Hey, we'll knock these out quick then. Tennessee, Alabama. I got Alabama.
Tennessee, Alabama. Of course, I got Alabama.
I hate to say, but I have to go with Alabama.
Coach, Alabama, Tennessee.
Oh, man, the great Nick Saban, man. First time we had a chance to talk about him all year. We don't have time to get into the fantastic job that he's done with this team.
Wow.
But we will maybe next week or the week after.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
See how it goes.
Also in college football right now, we do have the Red River rivalry, Texas at Oklahoma right now. I promise you we're going to make it. The game did start already, but I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at the score. I am picking Oklahoma, 20th ranked Oklahoma.
He has a freshman quarterback, Charlie Strong does, but I'm going to go with Texas in this game. I'm going to go with Texas in this game to basically upset Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is number 20.
They are.
Yeah, ranked number 20. So
they are a team that can be upset. So. I mean, it is, and you can sometimes throw the record out of the window with rivalries.
Exactly.
And this Oklahoma is an upsettable team, if that's a word.
Yes.
They are a very upsettable team.
Stoops is looking very shaky. I've been hearing rumors about his job security too, as long as he's been down in Oklahoma, but he's a guy that couldn't quite. Well, he won the big game, I want to say once, but other than that, he took a shellacking in the bowl game.
I mean, Coach, with the Coach Stoops with the bowl game performances, and now these rumors after so many years in Oklahoma, how does that make you feel?
Down,
Oh, yeah, it's one of those days.
It's going to be all right.
So, look, we talked about a little bit of football. We're in Louisiana. Yeah, look, coming up about 5 minutes, we have Noel Jackson with Music Satisfaction right here on 96.9 FM. The Atlanta Falcons are a surprising 3-1 team. I did not think they had it in them. I don't care who their opponents were. They are putting up just piles of offense. They destroyed the Carolina Panthers, the defending NFC champions. They're going out to the Mile High City to face the Broncos. I do think they meet their Waterloo here. I think Denver continues to go undefeated after this week.
Julio.
Ooh.
Julio. Don Julio. I'm down with Julio, man, so I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons to upset the Denver Broncos this week. That's Joker Piece. Upset game of the week. I got the Atlanta Falcons going into Denver in the Mile High Stadium and upset Denver.
The social issue regarding the elections.
Well, I had a question. Of course, the big news was that Donald Trump and the things he's been saying have been caught on tape, saying this and saying that. And I thought about it, and I reflected on it, and I wanted to ask this question: why isn't Donald Trump arrested? You know, when I really think about it, and I'm serious.
No, I hear you.
This is a person that has been on tape and admitted basically sexual assault and said he can do it whenever he wants to do it. He just walks up to a woman. He said, I just can't wait. I just start kissing her. I guess he just puts his tongue in the person's mouth, or, you know, I can just grab her crouch. Not saying that he can do it. He said, this is what I do. And then you've had allegations of now women saying he has done this.
And they're piling
you know what it reminds me of? And it's piling Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
But when it was Bill Cosby, the allegations were 40, 30 years ago, and they went in and investigated, and this man is out on $1 million bond.
Do you realize?
So is that a double standard?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the last week, do you have any idea how many women have come out and accused Donald Trump? 5 women have come out in the last week. 5 women. I think that number is going to increase too.
And not only that, but we had a situation where this guy walked in, apparently, on
the Miss America people
on the Miss America teen pageant, and these were people that's underage, teenagers, where he walked in and they're naked, and he even admitted this in an article, and he said he can, by him being the president of the CEO of the pageant, you know, he can have those little perks. He can just walk in like he's looking for something, or
I guess he wants
to make sure everything is okay.
I guess he wants to inspect the goods.
But I thought about that and just was like, why isn't he immediately? I wouldn't say immediately arrested, but immediately investigated. Why this stuff isn't being investigated? Where's Gloria Allred now?
Actually, Gloria Allred is in the middle of all this. She's been on the news a lot lately.
So
Gloria Allred has gone Gloria Allred.
Any of the ladies?
She is.
She's getting up. Oh yeah, well.
So yeah, she's been in the middle of this quite a bit. I'm curious as to where this is going.
I'm very curious.
It is very Cosby-esque.
Right, especially with less than 30 days until the election. You know, but to me, this man has called this woman. He's really disrespected Hillary Clinton. He's called her everything except the B word.
Right.
When you really think about it, he's called her a devil. He's called her all types of stuff. And I just think, just with that attitude, and he just has no decorum. He has, you know, like no manners. Really.
This dude is unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's getting away with it. And it's like, you know, and it shows, to me, it just shows the ugliness of the country. For people to still support him and come up with all these excuses. Even women are coming up with excuses of what he said, like locker room talk. And
it's politics, man. That's politics.
Wait a minute, Joker, because people are still supporting Hillary Clinton.
And she is.
60 seconds.
People don't
get it twisted.
That we're not stumping for Hillary Clinton.
Not at all.
She has done a lot of atrocities, and we wish we had a better choice. I say think green, think liberal. Think liberal. Hillary Clinton is not the answer.
Not at all, and we're definitely not. We're not endorsing either one. But I was just more or less on something criminal that Donald Trump did and the double standard.
She's done a number of criminal things as
too.
well.
Right. but not right exactly. You know, but with him and this and what he said and what we've been seeing, it's just not nothing new. There's been a track record of this, but that was just my question. Why isn't Donald Trump arrested? So that was my pause for a thought today.
So hey, coming up, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just about to say.
All right, coming up in about about
1 minute.
About a minute, we have Noel Jackson with Music Satisfaction right here on 96.9 FM WHYR Baton Rouge Community Radio. Folks, we are all out of time. Thank you for joining us today, Blake. Thank you, Miss Jill. I don't know if she can hear us, but thank you for bringing this young man into the studio today. Round the horn very quickly. We got to give Noel the mic.
I want to give shouts out to my family, my Gwendolyn Hawkins, my girl Kay Shira. I got a new listener, Julius, and Byron. I know y'all listening. And peace out. Any shouts out?
Shouts out, I would like to shout out that starting 11 defense from McKinley High, that front seven, savage season. I also like to shout out class of 18 at McKinley. We're on top of the best. Shout out to my mom, my coaches, and my trainer, Marlon Favorite.
All right.
That's what's up. Coach.
Appreciate you joining us, Blake.
Well, thank
Beat
you.
the Bucks next week down in the bottom for homecoming. Make me a happy Panther. Hey, go South Baton Rouge Rams today. Get a W.
Hail to the king and lots of love. May he protect us from the evil. Hail to the king, lots of love. May he protect us from evil.